Hey, it's Finny Commit. I'm back with another Palia Tour. I'm here with Aria Acton Vance. How you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Excellent. Yeah. So those of you who may not know, Aria is quite a veteran when it comes to tours, but we've only done speed tours. This will be the first full tour, and we're gonna get to know a bit about you.
Awesome. So this
Yes.
we have done a speed tour here as well. So we're gonna start. This is the business district. Um, so we're gonna start here on the left with the bakery.
Excellent. Oh wow. Yeah, this is posh. I
The capital
love
street
the
period.
lighting that you did here. This is really cool.
Yeah, it was fun to get to use all of this capital chic stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I don't use much on my home plot, so it's good to
I
have a
like
place.
how you did this oven and you did the two shelves. Kind of makes it seem more anchored that way.
I
Uh,
had never considered using those as like a wall oven, and then Yinny showed me hers, and I was like, that is an idea that I'm gonna borrow.
yeah, I love it. I love this little pantry area back here too.
Yeah,
More than just the hallway. I mean, there's so many things you can do with those. It's so cool.
yeah, the hallway pieces. I had not bought any, and once I started buying and using hallway pieces, I'm pretty sure I have more hallways than anything else at this point, like
Oh, I believe it.
building wise.
Just a house of
So, and then there's
hallways.
kind of the outdoor seating area.
I like the blue. It's a really nice blue.
I liked it too. So we're gonna save the big staircase, I think, for last.
Okay,
That
that
was
sounds good to me.
over here on the right, we have the restaurant.
Ace. Oh yeah.
Got your register, little lobby area with waiting space. And
I just
here are the
I
booth.
I love the booths. I mean, it's totally. What kind of a restaurant is it?
I'm gonna say Western theme because I feel like that's
Western.
kind of where it went.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, I can imagine sort of a steakhouse vibe. You got your rustic stuff and quite literally your oh, I mean, yeah, this is totally a steakhouse, especially with those log chairs. Like you could get just like a big old steak and some mashed taters. That's your meal. That's all you get.
Oh yeah. The food unfortunately is missing because I hit the plot limit on this one
Oh yeah, they got
before
it.
I could quite
All good.
decorate out. So
They
there's some food back here.
they probably cook it in the town and have Ione run it over.
Perfect.
Love the colors. People who've used this wallpaper in different settings, it's really fascinating. It feels kind of luxurious in a way, but like in a um, like it's established luxury, and I love this very colorful, bold wallpaper too.
I think it's fun with some of the pantries to get to do the wallpapers that are almost too busy for the really big walls for me.
Yeah, yeah. Then that's a really good point. That's a really good point. We have lots of options in Palia, and I think pointing that out is fantastic because, if you're just like, oh, this is kind of cool, but I don't know where the hell I would use it. Well, it's a busy wallpaper, so you don't want it in too wide of an area. You can use it in a small space. Yeah, following you.
Mhm. Right. So, sorry, I've got kids coming home, so they are.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hi. You guys have fun? Yeah. So out this door, their outdoor eating space and porch.
Ooh. I
kind
like
of
how
tried
this
to do
opens
an
up. This is cool.
eclectic chair collection.
Yeah. So, given the time of day that it is, like it's in the middle of night, like I think it's really cool. When I walked out, ooh, we got a visitor. I like how you did the benches and the foliage around like these natural trees, like the big natural trees. And it just kind of opens up to be this really beautiful patio area. That's cool.
Yeah. So the goal with this is kind of like it's a restaurant up against a public park. So you've
Right.
got the park here with the bandstand up
Nice
on the.
bandstand.
This was actually inspired by Ellie because I watched her Dinkum Island and I really
Oh,
liked her little bandstand gazebo and I was like, I'm gonna do that with a gazebo.
that's awesome. That's really awesome. Yeah. Cross game inspiration. I love it.
Yeah, got little picnic tables over there.
Oh, I love it. This is cool. It's kind of funny that, you see the tables and the benches like used as they should, because most of the time I see them used in more in like different ways. Like people use them for hot tubs and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, that's how they're supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah. I very rarely use these benches as benches because they feel almost more like little tables to me.
Right, yeah. Like they could be like a cute little kitty table, whittle chairs.
Mhm. So come over here. Well, we'll come get the middle shop that we kind of.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. That's why I like having people lead me around, because you know your plot better than I do. So,
I'm more
uh,
sorry that I keep speeding up and slowing down. The
nah,
walking
it's
things.
all
But
good.
this is my antique shop.
Yes, I remember the antique shop. I remember the antique shop. So many really cool details in here. Because I mean, the antique shop vibe is it's totally cluttercore, but the fact of you got like it's very much a space available type of style. It's like, all right, you got little sections and not a lot of room to walk, but like everything is just on display, and you almost can just kind of pick out in this antique shop. It's almost kind of a consignment shop where you have just, you know somebody that does paintings over here, and then you have like this booth here sells like, custom plushies, and you know
Hmm.
yeah, this is a
Yeah.
really cool execution of this. Really cool.
So you've got your public bathroom.
And those of you who are watching for the very first time, like, I do slow camera things because there's just so much that needs to be captured. And you can take so many notes here. Like this wall right here. How many times have you seen a wall like this in when you're out and about? And just the kind of the execution of just painting with Palia. Like it's just totally like a fancy public bathroom with the greenery. Probably get fresh flowers from one of the people that works in the antique shop.
Or from the plant store next door, which is our next destination.
Nice. Meander through here because this is just like a cool outdoor space. And then hop, hop. Nice. Wanted to capture that.
Here's the plant shop. This one is my favorite for sure
Does it
of
have a
the
name?
shops. I have not come up with a name.
If I may be so bold as a commit. Blame it all on my roots.
Oh, I like that. So I feel like it should get a nod to my son. I mentioned this, I think, when I did the speed tour. All of the chapa planters are from the market. I had stepped away to do something and let him take the mouse to look around, and he ran up to the stall and bought like 20 plus chapa planters.
Yes. That's awesome.
He was so excited. I came back. I was like, "Why did you buy so many?" He's like, "I wanted to see if I could fill your inventory." He did.
Mission
He did, in
accomplished.
fact, fill your inventory. So I wanted to give this, I don't know, the greenhouse vibes almost that you get when you go to local nurseries and you're like
Yeah.
squeezing through the rows and groupings of plants, trying to find the plants you want.
Yeah. And they never look the same when you take them home.
Very true.
Then again, I'm not good at taking care of plants.
But we're gonna go back through here where you can see more of the chapa planters.
I love it.
And
I
back here is, oh, go
Oh
ahead.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Here's the planting pavilion where they do all of the growing and prepping plants for the shop.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, it's fun when you take the idea of like a business and then you create a space that feeds that business. Like, it's one thing is to say, this is a restaurant, but then you have like a whole nother area that's like, okay, this is where the restaurant actually does the cooking, you know, like a back area. And then the nursery, this is where they actually get the plants and get them potted and then they put them on display. And that's really cool.
I was wishing for piles of dirt to add because I felt like it needed that, dirtied up vibe. And they gave us piles of dirt, but around the trees, which is not
Just
where I wanted dirt.
yeah. I have the opinion like, you know, it makes sense when they're baby trees, but once they are more established, like they probably need to go away.
I understand the idea of wanting the dirt to separate them from the trees you can't move,
Right.
but
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
so here's my staircase. I was very proud that I made a staircase that I can actually walk up without having to jump. Took a lot of fishing.
Yeah.
So, and this was just because I have my museum is back here. Um, and I wanted a way to get over to the museum that
Without having
felt
to
like it
run
was
around. Yeah.
intentional. So it's kind of the courtyard.
I
And then
love
we've
it.
got the testament to my many hours playing mostly. I was going to say to my skills, but the truth is it's mostly to a testament to the amount of time I've spent playing.
I like the seating area here in the center. And you got this nice little backdrop that showcases all of the precious gems and
Yeah. So over here is the bug wing of the museum.
oh yes, the bug wing. Yes. I like how these are so one thing that's fascinating to me is how people display their critters, fish and bugs. And I've seen, walls of bugs. I've seen bugs on tables and countertops and stuff like that. But this feels very authentic. They're low. They're easy for people to see. And then the lighting that you kind of interspersed in here just adds a lot to it. And of course, you got a little seating area. So this is really clean execution for displaying all of these different critters.
It was fun. Bug catching was one of the first things that I got all of the bugs.
Yeah. These snails look like they're in a family feud or something because they're facing away from each other.
I never even considered that.
I pick up on random stuff. I mean, you know that by now.
Very, very true. So over here, of course, is the fish wing of the museum,
Yeah.
which took significantly more time.
Of course. Of course.
The star quality void ray was the last one that I needed. Took me so long to get it. And then the other day, I just was running through the mines and someone was fishing, and I was like, "Might as well join them, get my fishing weekly out of the way of fishing with other people."
Yeah.
And first starfish I pull up is another star void ray.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been slowly working on my bundles as well. Slowly but surely. I like this. Is this kind of like the museum curator's office?
Yep.
Yeah.
Office for the person in charge of everything.
I really like how you designed all of this stuff. It's very clean, and I like this little pillar here in the center. It's not
Yeah.
it's not too busy. It's just like, hey, check out all of these fish.
Yeah. And of course, another public bathroom because, got to make sure that the museum people can
Yeah.
use the bathroom too.
It's
This was
just
actually the first one that I made. The one in the antique shop was my second time
yeah,
building a
this is
public bathroom.
really well done. It's like a different style, but just how you've mixed everything together is just really cool. Really well executed.
Okay. So that is everything on this plot.
Sweet.
Do you want to head back to the front or do you
Yeah,
want me to just switch
let's head
us?
back to the front. Actually, we'll do it all in one video. Decision made.
Right. You ready?
Yes, I am. Beat me up, Scotty. Yeah, something offending commit back for another Palia tour, but this is another plot. No, wow. This is grand. This is grand. Yeah, so
Thank you.
yeah, tell me where we're going. I mean, this is wow.
So we're gonna, I think, start with some of the outside stuff. This is my little flower garden. I'm very
Wow.
excited to get the flowers for this because I had just started working on this garden area and built the path when we got the patch with the flowers. I was like, perfect. So I don't have to try and figure out how to do it with pots.
Yeah. Is this like the original maze area that you've been working on?
No, so
Kinda, this is so
this
cool.
has all been my workshop area. It's just juggled around a little with the pavilions added in. Um, I've made a few changes to my garden and to where I had all my crafting machines. I saw a lot of tours with people kind of having it open out to the pond areas, which made me want to kind of open this up because there used to be trees all the way across the front.
Right.
But seeing people, take advantage of that natural beauty, I was like, you know what, I want to do that. So I've
Yeah.
done some opening up here
That's a
at the front.
fantastic idea. You don't have to close off your entire plot. I mean, it's a good starting point to do boundaries and stuff, but you don't have to. And I'm just so thankful because, fun fact, like when I first came here, I was really sad because I wasn't able to capture everything because the state of Palia at that point it was really hard, performance wise. So I had a lot of stuttering, but I am capturing everything buttery smooth, and I'm just like, yeah, this is so cool.
So okay, so here we dive into the maze.
Oh,
Got our little
sweet.
market food area.
You nailed the lighting. So cool.
Kind of my center point of the maze here. The grand entrance is over there, but we'll probably go out that way. So, and then over here we can see.
Look at all
I'm
this.
startled.
That is so cool. All right, we're going down this way. Wait, did I
Oh,
already lose you? Going through these? Okay, cool. I got you. I got you. Yeah.
just figured we'd come over and say hi to the babies.
The babies. So
So
cool.
kind of open this up into a big viewing area for them.
Uh,
So the sign marks how close you can get without starting them.
oh, nice, nice. It's kind of cool how people distinguish those things. We won't disturb the babies. You got a
We've
little
got
guardian Kitsu plushie.
we probably will disturb them a little because we've got to get into this area over here.
Yeah, I got you.
Maybe.
Kind of
So,
funny. They go, oh, I'm out.
got this little picnic area kind of hidden away in here. And if we ever get a higher plot limit, this will also be kind of a flower garden area. Some of this open space.
That is so
Now
cool.
it's a little yard.
I hope that they do clean up the whole dirt mound things, because I'm sure some of them, like you had mentioned earlier, they're like, well, how can we distinguish ones that you can move and ones that you can't? Oh, let's add our dirt at the bottom. That sounds like a great idea.
You know, I wouldn't even mind it if it were just like a
Yeah. If it were lower, I
little
think it would
bit.
probably be better.
Mm. So this is diving really into the maze here. Got our little
Nice.
crossroads. We've got our little, I don't know, this corner ended up looking like a doctor's waiting room, and I've just decided to leave it, so I have that nice vibe.
Sweet.
Got our little hot pot eating area.
You know, I just had a random thought, and I'm sure you're not surprised by now at my random thoughts. But my random thought is like, this is like a Palian dream that you would have after chopping down lots of wood. You're like, I woke up in a forest maze, and you know, some days I just like
Mhm.
I had little shimmers of the Maji market, and then the first furniture that I crafted in Palia.
Yep. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Uh, I picture it being the whole maze idea started because I was like, what is like the grandest, fanciest thing I can think of to do with the yard? And I immediately thought like, I don't know, English manor kind of.
Ah, yes.
And so I thought hedge maze, but we don't have hedges
Yeah. Yet, anyways. Those.
yet. So we got a tree maze instead.
Yeah.
I spent many, many hours deforesting Kilima.
I bet.
Oh. But it was fun to kind of try and design because I feel like when I first did the maze, there were a lot of unintentional space. Like it was just kind of there's a space, I have a couch, I'm gonna put the couch in the space.
Hmm.
But as I have worked on it more, it's become more the spaces are becoming more intentional, right? Like
Yeah, you kind
I've
of
flown.
think so. I think, you know, the point to be made is like, even with an abstract build that you have here, with all of the trees and everything like that, it applies as well to other spaces. Like, I like to point out to people that are just starting out in Palia or just, kind of stuck on what to do is just kind of put things in a place and eventually you'll kind of work out. It'll start to form, it'll start to feel more permanent, as you move things around into it. Just like you were pointing out, it's like, I put this couch here just to kind of have a place for it. And then now it's becoming a little bit more of a place as you add more things around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really how it feels. You set things down, and sometimes, I don't know, I'll start something, and then a new patch will come out or something. I'll get a piece of furniture, and I'm like, this is the inspiration. This tells me what I needed to do with that space that I wasn't sure about. Like, I get it now.
That's cool. I'm still on this, dream theory of deforesting Kilima.
Well, we've got a gazebo. Of course, this was the first gazebo that I had, so wasn't really sure what to do with it at first. And again, threw in a couple of couches and was like, this seems like a nice sitting area. I want to go with fall vibes.
Yeah, I dig that. I really like the wine colors you use in here. Really cool. Has a cool ambience to it.
And of course, you've got to have these days, what is a gazebo without a secret staircase up to the top to
Oh yes.
utilize the nook. I did not know about that space either. I think it might have been from a tour video that I discovered that there even was a decoratable nook space.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. Fun that people have had little hideaway spaces. If only we had a way to get up here without the staircase, like a secret way or something like that. That way if people were visiting you, you could actually have a legitimate hideout spot.
I love it. All right. So on to the home part of Home Sweet Home.
Nice. Then we just open up to the home area. That's incredible. Love these big juniper trees. They're so
Me
cool.
too. Growing them big was so great because I had the medium ones there.
Yeah.
For a long time. And then when I watered them all and they grew huge, I was like, this is because I was questioning. I was like, do I even want juniper trees? Do I want something else? But once I got them big, it's like that's what was missing. I needed the height.
Definitely. Those of you who are here, don't forget to like the video, follow me for more Palia tours. Let me know in the comments, what y'all think so far? We're covering 2 plots today, of course, so there's going to be lots to talk about, but take a deep breath as we go inside.
Welcome to my house.
Very nice. And I know I've mentioned this already, but it's such a relief to be able to capture everything as it was meant to be seen.
I'm enjoying it too because I feel like I got so many good ideas and feedback from that tour, and now I get to have my actual tour be the improved version with I mean lots of patches, lots of extra furniture, and
definitely
bay windows.
Glad that they fixed lots of things.
Me too. So this is our big game room.
And thin area.
Yes, this is another one that was inspired by one of the tours that I watched. It might have been a speed tour, but someone had a room very, very similar to this. They had their telescope in it. And I don't have my telescope in this one, but I loved the plant room with the wood and ivy walls. Like, I need that.
Yeah,
So,
following you. Which direction we're going? I don't think we've been in this room yet.
so this is the kids' bedroom.
Aw. Every time I see this wallpaper, it's so fun. Because it's kind of busy, but like the way that you use it particularly, it makes it less so.
Yeah, it ended up working really well with this color scheme. I was not expecting, I was just kind of testing wallpapers after I'd put the furniture down, and that one ended up fitting really well.
Yeah.
So here's the master suite. It was, of course, one of my favorite places on the plot. I mean, just the whole suite, honestly. But the bedroom with the green tones, and here's the
Got
study.
lots of things to look at in here. It's so cool.
It's
Take
interesting
a
how
peek.
some things kind of follow you. Like using the treasure chest as bedside tables was something I did very early game because you don't have a ton of furniture to
Right.
start with.
Right.
And so I
Yeah.
started using those early game and I just loved it. So I never really changed even once I started getting other nightstands I could build.
Yeah, and they are a very practical type of storage or as far as like decoration goes for a game like this because you're going on adventures and you're going to have places to store things and you know, they're a very hardy type of storage. Got your water boiling system here, water cooling as it
Yep.
were. That's cool.
Gotta have your utility closet.
Yes.
When we got the steampunk stuff, at first I was kind of like, I'm not going to use any of that. Like, how would I even use it? And then I just kind of fell in love with it for just gives everything like that almost modern touch.
Yeah.
I just the wall vents and occasional pipes, especially in like the bathrooms and everything, I felt like worked so well.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So, and then we've got a guest bathroom hiding back over here.
I really like how you've decorated your little nooks and corners and stuff and makes flowers very well.
I feel like my goal in all of this was to make it a place that I would actually live. And I feel like in my actual house, I have the furniture and then I tend to put a lot of stuff on the furniture or like
Yeah.
shelves and stuff. I tend to put a lot on furniture when I have it. So here's
And
my kitchen.
I've seen some of the evolution of this kitchen and I really like kind of where you settled with it with the lighting and everything. It's really cool. I like how people have done, you know, the islands and stuff and just I'm always like a huge fan of the bay windows, how people just put lots of different greenery and flowers and everything in it.
Mm.
Like you got your fresh produce, you got your coffee grinder or spices as it were. That's super cool.
Yeah. But
Nice little dining area. The lighting in here, the wallpapers.
this is one of my favorite rooms, the way it turned out. Honestly, when they showed pictures of the new wallpapers that came out with that one, I was like, not sold. Not a huge fan. And then I actually put it on the wall and I was like, okay, this is like my favorite wallpaper ever.
It feels nostalgic, doesn't it?
hmm
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, vintage, classy, and I very much love vintage things.
Hence the antique shop, of course.
hmm
Yeah. Excellent.
And we've got the back porch. Got your kind of your warm up and sitting areas on the porch. That's what porches are really for, right? Visiting and
Yeah,
chatting.
absolutely. How you doing? Don't come in. Wave to the neighbor. Aliens.
Mhm. This laundry area is another one that I stole from a tour that I watched.
Yeah.
Saw someone using this tub for that. I was like, I have one of those tubs, and that is the perfect use for it.
Oh yeah. Have we made ourselves to the other end? I see some cool stuff over there.
Yep.
Flowers. I like how people have just decorated little spaces, you know? Like
Hmm.
there's so many things that you can just kind of sprinkle in around your house. And it doesn't always have to be inside. I love this pergola. Pergola, depending on where you're from.
So this fire pit used to be at the end of the path when you come in, but with
Yeah,
the road or entrance to Bahari, I decided to open that up, so it got moved.
that's awesome. Yeah, this is where you hang out. Another little thing, although you have the tree maze in the front part of your property, the use of like the natural trees and the ones that you've planted to kind of break up the lighting and everything, because we're now at sort of like a high noon. Really good execution of that. I think it adds a lot of character to a plot, for sure.
And of course, my nighttime picnic. And like I mentioned, the
Kind of liked
removing of
it.
the fence here was in honor of everyone who inspired me to take more advantage of the natural.
It is a pretty space. Like our plot is a pretty space.
It
And
really is. I hadn't noticed it.
some people they add lots of trees back. Some people have taken all the trees down, opened up, and just added lots of buildings. Like there's so many different things that you can do, like in the space itself.
Yes. And I have just realized as we're walking around, I have a floating light problem.
Yeah, I noticed it. I called out aliens.
So, yeah, this little sitting area. This is one of my favorite outdoor sitting areas. I feel like I would just chill here on these
Yeah,
cozy outside chairs
seems so
and read a
cool.
book.
For sure. Absolutely. Well, where would the coziest place be on your house or plot for Q&A?
I was thinking the dining room. I know I
Right.
mentioned that's one of my favorite spaces. So I did test, and there are two chairs at the table turned enough that we can slide in.
Sweet. This one, I'll get this one. Wow, that is some engineering. Nice. Good planning. Get a good angle here. This is fun. Like I have been using like the first part of Q&A to kind of tell, we had two plots to look at and I'll kind of cover the basis. It's really cool to be able to do a full tour finally and sit down and, allow the community to get to know you a little bit better. You've done a lot of speed tours, so we've seen some of the progression. If those of you who've followed along, and we'll talk about the first plot. The all the different businesses that you created, you gave them lots of character. The capital chic that you used in the first area bakery next to the staircase, and the antique shop, the plant shop. Like I really like how you incorporate a lot of your family into your build. Um, and like I mentioned, you decorate your corners very well. You're able to mix the flowers and lighting and everything. Just it all just jives so well together. And then we have this plot, which is such a cool kind of a comeback story. because when I first viewed it, like I mentioned, I was pretty sad because I was like, I didn't get to capture it because of all the frame rate drops and jitteriness and everything. So I'm glad that they fixed that, and I can finally get to see it in its full glory and take a full tour and capture it. Like I mentioned, it is
Yes.
like a dream, uh, where you're surrounded by trees and you have these little pockets of spaces that you've created. And I know that may have not have been like the vision, but it's like just a cool vibe, how you mixed all of those things. And then you get into the main house and you have these spaces like this, like the kitchen, your dining room. It's really cool execution on both fronts. I know you've been with the community for quite a bit, so I guess my first question, and I think you've hinted at this already, where do you get your inspiration from?
I, you know, so I have a mild obsession with houses. I don't know. We're renting. We've been renting since my husband and I got married. We have not bought a house yet. Just financially have not made it to the point that we're ready for
Yeah.
that. So we dream a lot, especially um, I think Palia jived with me a lot because we would love to someday be hobby farmers,
Hmm.
like chickens, bees, garden, fruit trees. Like we would love to do all of that.
Yeah.
And so getting to have a little piece of that here was amazing. And then just, I don't know, building it and setting it up and getting to kind of see a space that I can make my own, because renting, you can make your own space, but it's very much like with your furniture
Right.
that you make your own space, right? You don't get to change the walls. You don't get to change the floor. You can't do projects if you want to change up the floor plan or anything.
Right.
You
Yeah.
just you make do with what you have. And so getting to have that chance to I you kind of mentioned this in the bathroom, like painting with Palia. It
Yes.
was that chance for me to paint my personality into a house.
That is really cool. Yeah. That is really cool. And I like to ask that because, you know, one of the best parts about the capturing these homes is just to understand the thought process behind it, because it is a game, and there's game elements like hunting and fishing and buck catching to get all of the different elements and doing the quests and stuff. But when you actually put it down and you place it and you arrange it and rotate it in different ways, like that's when you start to build like the story for this. So I guess my next question is going to be kind of meta. I like to do these occasionally, but for people that might be on the fence about a tour, what advice would you give them?
You know what? I have never not enjoyed a tour, and I feel like I'm pretty seasoned with it now, right? I did my first tour with you, the one that had the frame rate problems
Yeah.
was back in I think November.
Yeah, it's been a
So,
while.
and in that time, I've done multiple speed tours, and not just speed tours. I mean, I've given other people a tour, and I found because I was nervous. The very first time we did our tour, I was so nervous.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
feel like I was shaking a little
Maybe that
because
was the frame rate stuff you were shaking.
it was just so new. But getting to share, this thing that because for me, I mean, this house and what I've done here, it feels like home.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to explain it, but when my character walks onto one of my plots, it feels like coming home.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm. And I getting to share that piece of me with other people and getting to see other people and the way they have expressed that in game is just it's inspiring.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And one of the things I think that is a cool aspect of your personality is that, not only have you invited people over, but um, you'll invite people over just to give feedback. You're just like, what do you think about this wallpaper here? Or what about like this placement? So it's an exchange. I think that's really cool that that's been like a part of your process, you know. So we'll end
Yeah, I
we'll end with
love getting to find people
yeah,
who
definitely.
are into it too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It can be a chore and it can be kind of a grind, but I mean, if you once you get established enough, you can kind of build on it and it becomes less of a thing. Especially if you have like an inventory of things that you can start placing. I think my last question is going to be around you have two full plots, right? And part of the beauty about these Palia tours is people that use the items that Palia has to create something that is abstract. Sometimes you have to come, not necessarily like glitch items together, but you know, to combine the items and placing them in a way to create something like you use the fish to create, you know, staircase, right? And Paleo has hinted at, you know, multiple floors and stuff like that. So I guess what do you think is missing? Like you've used some of your items in creative ways to create abstract things. What are some things that you think you wish that we had?
I mean, I think the flowers were a huge step forward because
Huge,
ground
yeah.
cover was a big one. The paths and the second stories that are coming are also big ones. I would love to see, I think I would love to see some more things to make it feel real almost. Like, I think it would be interesting to get to see maybe some cleaning supplies. I was thinking about that earlier, that
Interesting. Yeah.
about how I was mopping my actual house and thinking about how I don't have to mop in Palia. But then I was like, but that would almost give it a homey vibe to have, a mop or a broom or,
Yeah. Even if
some of that
even if it's
cleaning
just
stuff,
like
piles of dirt for my
right.
potting pavilion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Just
Um,
little things to kind of make it look lived in or you know because there are people who've used the pile of leaves to kind of give that vibe for sure, but that's really cool. That's really interesting. I think that Singularity 6 watches these videos and takes notes, so I like to ask that question a lot. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to tour your two plots and for us to get to know you. Those of you who stay here, don't forget to like the video, follow me for more paleo tours, and don't forget to leave a comment. I think it's super, super valuable to hear from everybody what you think about it and what are you taking home with you and applying. But yeah, thank you so much again. I will see you all for the next paleo tour. Until next time, bye bye.